Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Ian.is.weird. I wanted to share what I got at the library, and then we're gonna watch Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark for day 49 of 100 Nights of Halloween. I found some things that I expected to be at the library that I went to, and then I found some things that I did not expect to be there. So that is super exciting, and I'm stoked about it. So let's go with the things I was expecting first. So I did want to go and get the Crochet Monsters book. Now, I remember Winter saying something to the effect of when I looked at this book. I think I was sharing my screen, and they said it looked very similar to the fantasy one with the dragon on the front. And it turns out this is by the same author. So a bunch of interchangeable parts, so you can create a lot of really cute little monsters. This is by Megan Lap with two P's, and it's just like really just like a bunch of cute, just oh my gosh, just cute little monsters that you can just put all of their little pieces together however you want and create some cute little babies. So this is super exciting for me. I am so stoked about this. Went for this. Now, another thing that I went for um, was this Crocheting on the Edge, and it's a super long title. So it's called Crocheting on the Edge, Ribs and Bobbles, Ruffles, Flora, Fringes, Points, and Scallops. And this is by Nikki Epstein. And basically, it has a bunch of different, hey Lydia, how are you? A bunch of different edge work that you can do, which I always think is really interesting because I think that added flair to the outside of any crochet piece is really interesting. And then the cover obviously got me like this is just insanity. I could not help but check it out. And it looks really exciting. So it definitely piqued my interest when I saw it on the library website. So those are the two that I went for. Hi, Nifty. Now, the next one is another. It has some patterns in it, and it also has a lot of different stitches in it. So this is the complete crochet handbook. And this one is by three authors: Evelyn Hetty Burkhart. I should have tried to say these beforehand. Um, Beat, Beat Hilbig, Beatrice Simon. And so it has step-by-step instructions for beginners, how to work with multiple colors, Tunisian crochet, how to read crochet charts, motifs, lace, edgings, borders, granny squares, double-sided crochet, filet crochet, how to make socks, hats, and mittens, so much more. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is a really big book. But at the end, they have a glossary of a bunch of stitches, which you know that I really like. So, just a bunch of really interesting things to look through, different patterns like this that I really value when I'm just trying to look for the right pattern to make with a yarn that I have. So that was really exciting. I'm kind of running through a lot of like the crochet with glossaries and stuff like that. So that was nice to see. And then the last one I saw, I was really excited to see because I was not expecting it. This is the Dark and Dramatic Mosaic Crochet book by Alexis Sixel or Sixel. I don't I don't know how to say her name. Sixel Designs. She's done a lot of the really popular kind of gothic and alternative mosaic crochet, and that you see all over the place. And she wrote a book a couple years ago, I think, at this point. And so they had her book, and I was super excited to see that. So I'm like, I want to make this more than like anything in the world. So this is super exciting to see. to not have to buy, and I get to try some things out. So this for me is just like, I'm so excited. I'm like, let me just finish this cardigan, and I'll get to work on some of these things because I can't wait anymore. That's too fun. So I have a lot of books to check out and to try. Um, Now, I am going to be watching Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which, of course, is based off a book series. I mean, there's only 2 books in the series, but still series, 2 books. And for me, those books were so, like, I remember just like being young and reading them, and how scary they were, and how much I loved the books, even though they were scary. Like, some of the stories were so freaking scary. So I'm super excited that it's available. Also, I really love Lana Del Rey's cover of Season of the Witch on this, that was for the soundtrack. So I'm excited to hear that, because that is a good cover as far as I'm concerned. So let me set up my uh, stuff like I usually do. And I'm working on the other panel. I finished one panel of the cardigan, of the front of the cardigan that I'm working on, and now I'm working on the other panel. So this is what it looks like so far. I need to do 11 rows, and I just finished the 3rd row, just now. So let's get this started, connect everything up, and get to crocheting. So what is everyone working on tonight? I thought this would go well with the Goosebumps that we did 2 nights ago, so I thought it would be a good match. It's the Season of the Witch. I heard lesbians everywhere, and I was like, wait, what? But that was what they said. I've only seen this movie one time. Peach baby dress using skin tones. The color is peachy. That is a beautiful, beautiful color. I love that color. Creepiest scarecrow. But yeah, I love that color. The skin tones were great, anyways. I mean, they really. I think that's one of the best things they've done in so long. I mean, it just the colors were just so perfect. And but the peachy color was great. Oh, you can crochet bag holders. Nice. Dark blue for your sister Amanda. That's so nice. Night of the Living Dead. Douchebags will be douchebags all throughout time. This movie's showing it. It was Snapple, yes. It's funny having seen Night of the Living Dead earlier in this. How's your gym? How's your gym? Getting snuggling there? excuse me this matter. Mhm. Mhm. Scary stories. Mhm. the past couple of days, like when I wore my binder, like I like when I take it off, I like stretch my back and it's like cracking glue stick. It feels so good. My cat is like purring and making biscuits. Um, okay. Okay, yeah, get something to eat. Take care of yourself. Oh, she done fucked up. She done fucked up. She has to hear a story. Mm, nice crocheted chevron throw. Classic, late 60s, early 70s colors. mustards and orange buns. Okay, so I think I'm gonna make a new cardigan in the pride colors so that I can relist it with some new colors. Yeah, it's good seeing you too. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it is late. I understand. Mm, the Herald story. Herald's a creepy. Not really sure. Creepy. What's going on? They're coming for you, Barbara. The special effects make it this movie. It's just so good. So it starts like copying people. And CGI. I'm gonna pause it real quick and grab myself a little drinky drink. I don't know, I'm trying to pause it there. she brings a book back that she stole. Mm, Go through. Never works out. Hey, Rudy, welcome in. Oh, I love this one. Oh no. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah. Ugh. Is there any like little jump scares? Kids never think like, let's make the police watch this story be written or something in front of them. What can't be burned, of course. If it's in the paper, it has to be true, right? Hello, kid. Hello, kid. Such an iconic. Now I'm just looking at like Joanne stuff. Because I'm like, well, I need some yarn to make a cardigan. Mm-hmm. I always look at this like through all of Joanne's website, like I need fucking any of this shit. I'm like, what if they have some swamp shit that I'm like, I need. So that's such an interesting way of like playing out these stories that are short stories and kind of didn't know what they're going to look like, and then like they just kind of like twist them on there. And I love everything that they did with this movie. It's just like so creepy and just like exactly in the stylistic, like the style of the books, and it just has like that exact like aesthetic and creepiness, and just like has you on the edge of your seat. I mean, did anybody else read these books when they were younger? Hello, welcome in. I'm watching Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark and crocheting. So, what are you up to today, Mina? Is it back time? So I'm still working on the other panel of the cardigan. So this is where I'm at so far. Yeah, I love the CGI in this movie. So creepy. How's your bag holder going, Lydia? Started it just a few minutes ago. Oh, nice. I'm sure you will be on your way in no time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 11 rows. contaminated old ass writing utensil. Eek. Oh, cut it up like a little snuggle. Hey Crystal, I'm watching these scary stories to tell in the dark, which I loved as a kid. Still like creepy and like it all jump scared. I'm like, oh, I'm a baby. I'm trying to crochet with my cat. He's, I don't know if you can see, he's sleeping. Oh, he just kind of woke up when I moved. He was sleeping right here. Little snuggle shrimp. Yeah, same. I know I own the first one. Um, I don't know if I mean I had them all, but I don't know if I still have them all. Um, I don't know where the other ones went. But like they were so creepy and just spooky. Um, the movies were. I also really love the Lana Del Rey cover. Oh yeah, feed them to your little brother and sister. Yeah, I definitely shared them uh, with my little sister when she was old enough. I didn't want to uh, didn't want her to get too scared because I was definitely too scared. I'm working on a panel for the front of my cardigan using the Halloween yarn. I just want to hear the cover of Season of the Witch. So get to that point. Here we go. Okay, now he's laying on my yarn. Can you see? Like he moved purposefully to get in the way of my skin and me. I guess you don't need to see like that low. Like my knobby little knees. Okay, now he's gone, and he took my. He's gone to eat more. So, what are you working on, Crystal? Make your crafty hands never stay idle for too long. Okay. So, I'm gonna get my little fix. Oh, such a good cover. So yeah, so I have the back panel and one of the front panels done, and then I'm going to. I have my sleeves to do, which in the pattern that Bagaday wrote, she just did double crochet like she did the back. I was thinking I might look up a cabled like sleeve pattern and see if I can make that work somehow. Because that would be, I think that would be look really nice, and I don't know, like it might get swallowed up by this variegated yarn. And then also, I was thinking about doing color blocking, but also I'm using less yarn than I thought I would, which is really cool because I thought this would be like, I thought I would go through like 6 skeins of yarn, and I'm on my second or third, which is less than I thought I would have done at this point. I think it's done. Ooh, nice. What kind of pattern, if you don't mind me asking? You don't give like super big details. Also, while you're typing, I got some books uh, from the library. So I got Crochet Monsters, which look, oh my god, like aren't they like don't you just want to eat them up? And they have like all these interchangeable parts, and they're just super adorable. And then I got Crocheting on the Edge, which has a bunch of like super long title, but like the front really got me. But I love like edge designs. I feel like it really makes something ordinary look like really spectacular. Like I think even on like a fairly basic um, uh, sh- uh, cardigan like this. Like I think if I did some like cool edging work on this, it could look really really cool. So I'm gonna look up some different designs that I could add. Um, but let's see. So those are two. And then I got the complete crochet handbook, which has all kinds of stuff. It's got some patterns, but it also has like a stitch library. So that's cool because I always like to use things like that to just do, just to like look through different stitches. Sometimes I'm like, this yarn would look really cool with like a textured stitch, and I'm not quite sure what to do. And then I get like really, really inspired by that. And like all of these are from the library, so I don't have to pay anything. And then this is Dark and Dramatic Mosaic Crochet by Alexis Sixel. Yeah, the monster book. And the monster book is written by the same person who wrote the like creatures, I forgot what it's called, but the one with the dragon on it. You know, the really popular one with the dragon on it. Like, what's her name? Something Lap. Megan Lap. With two P's. Um, so like, and it's quite thick. It's like maybe half an inch, maybe a little bit more. It's just pretty thick, and just all kinds of like ways you can make like little like. Oh my gosh. I want to make everything in here. I might. I think this is a book that I would buy. Like I would buy this book. Some books I see and I'm like, yeah, it's cool, but like I can like, you know, make do and just check it out from the library whenever I need it, but like not that one. And then this is by Alexis Sixel, who does Sixel Designs, who is like the does a lot of like the gothic and creepy mosaic designs that we all see all the time. And this was at the library. Like that's so cool. So that I can check it out and check out some of these patterns without uh, paying for it. So I'm super excited, and it's nice to try out these patterns. But the one with the edging, like edge work, I had not seen before. And then when I just like looked up crochet books at my local library or at the county libraries, and I found this one, and I was like, oh yeah, like that is super cool. So I'm super excited to give it a little cheesy try. Um, so sweaty. Sometimes if it's like just a little bit too hot, this pillow can be like a little stifling, but I still like working with it. It definitely is like much more ergonomic than my natural crochet stance, which is like hella like goblin like. Yeah, Six Little Designs at the library. Now, granted, this doesn't have all of her patterns, but these are some of the more like what I would put in the like just kind of like the commercial, like more broad categories. I know, but I mean, this is the book she wrote, and it is, it's cool because I've seen this book online, and I was thinking about buying it at one point till I realized like mosaic crochet isn't something that I like doing that much because you got to really think all the time, which it's kind of nice to just be able to like get with the pattern and start moving along with it. And so it moves a little bit slower for sure, but it's very cool looking, and I love the way it looks. So I'm definitely glad that I found it so that I can. And if it's at the library, that means that they'll probably, if people keep checking it out, they're not gonna like do away with it. And like, yes, I saw the fishbone fingerless gloves. They're in here. They're in here. Like they're on the front cover. They're so cool. I usually go to a different library to check out books, and like while like they can move them anywhere in the county, like you have to wait for like a list or like them to like transfer books or however they do it. But I went to one of the bigger ones, I guess. I don't know how big it is relative to the biggest one, but it's definitely bigger than the one I normally go to. And they had such a bigger selection of crochet books and knitting books and all that stuff. So it was really exciting to see. I thought you were saying sis, like sis. I'm like, yeah, but sis, I don't know. So I am making so it doesn't so this is like 4 years ago, a pattern from 4 years ago. So it was before she started numbering them. I tried to look up the number, but it failed. But if you type in bag a day, and it's in a playlist, I could get the link. But if you like literally if you type in bag a day cardigan pattern, this is one of the two that pops up first, and it's the one with the pockets. So it's pretty basic. Like the back is just double crochet, and then the front is alternating rows of double crochet, and then um, like mesh, like a mesh stitch. So it's not anything fancy, and the sleeves are double crochet. And they've got pockets. I don't know. Like the thing is, I like pockets for functionality, obviously, because you know, but like where like pockets would sit on me, they're gonna add bulk. Um, and uh, Also, I just like, I don't know. What was I gonna say? I feel like I just don't really like. I just don't really want that. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to find a pattern for like cabling in the round on a sleeve, and try cabling for the first time. Again, I don't know how well it will work up in this variegated yarn. If the yarn will kind of eat up the like all of that detail that the cable made, but at least it'll be kind of like chunkier and a little bit more detailed. So it looks like a lot more effort, went into the cardigan than just a bunch of double crochets. Which cardigan of just a bunch of double crochets is still fine. But I was really nervous about using up yarn, so I didn't want to use it up too early. So instead of doing something that might eat up more yarn in the back and on the panels, I just did what she did. Now I used a different weight of yarn and I used a different size hook. So she used a 5 weight yarn and a 6.5 millimeter hook. Yes, yes, that's the one. Um, and uh, I am using a 4 weight yarn and a 8 millimeter hook because I really wanted to make sure that I could get through the project because I don't have other color options. And I was like, well, I could do like color blocking with like black on the sleeves so that it would spread out some of the yarn. But now I'm like, I don't think I can do the cables if I am doing color blocking because of like how you have to kind of go. Like I don't think that would necessarily work, but I don't actually know because I've never done cables before. I always kind of talk myself out of cables because I start looking at them and I get really intimidated and I'm just like, nah, I'm just not going to do it today. um, I think part of it is I said it earlier, but like when I got into knitting, I pretty much stopped around the time that like I would have like my next progression would have been double pointed needles and or cables because both of those were just too complicated for me. And so I have like a lot of like pent up like anxiety about doing cables, but cables in knitting and cables in crocheting are very, very different. So I'm gonna see if I can find something that will work for um, this situation, and I think it'll look pretty. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, I know how to do all the components of a cable, right? Like I know how to like front loop, back loop, front post double crochet, back post double crochet. Like I know all those things. So like if I can put them all together, in theory I should be able to make a cable. Now I do know that Nastasia here on YouTube has a technique where she makes it look like it's a cable, but it's actually like surface crochet. And that's really cool, but it just doesn't have the same impact that uh, other cabling does. And it's definitely less yarn. It's definitely less yarn. Um, so let me see. So I think I'm going to be on my last row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. So this is the last row of the front panel, the second front panel. I'm gonna turn on the fan because your boy is sweating without a hole. I just heard without a hole, and I was like, because I'm a child. Okay, Crystal has a good cable tutorial where she shows how to do them without a hole. Okay. Oh. Okay, yeah, I've seen. Sorry, I kind of like burped, and then like I don't know. It was really a weird thing happening in my body all at once. I do apologize. My southern sensibilities. I don't know why I sound like Foghorn Leghorn when I try to do like a fucking southern accent because I'm southern and like I should know what a southern accent sounds like, but I do apologize. Um, okay, so there are gaps in the cables. Okay, let me click on. I can't click on links. I gotta go in the other. I gotta go in around my. 1 second. I gotta go onto my YouTube. Yeah, I wouldn't have because I think I've seen them. I guess they did have some gaps, but I just thought that was kind of like normal. But I guess you can do them without them. But yeah, I have it pulled up on another thing, but on Restream I can't. I can't click on links. But scary stories to tell in the dark. I didn't watch it. I think I watched it pretty shortly after the movie came out. I remember not loving it, but I think this is my second time watching it, and I think I like it more. I like the integration of the stories. I think I was really confused. I think before I watched it, I was like, well, how are they going to incorporate these short stories into like a larger movie? And then once doing a front post treble and then working into the skip stitches. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Actually, I got the link from what you posted, so I got that if that's what you're gonna message me. But you can message me again. You can message me as many times as you want. Um, Never a problem there, obviously. But I also want to make sure that it doesn't like I don't know. So I got to make sure. I guess because like the with the with how I think she's doing the sleeve. I haven't watched all the way through the tutorial for the cardigan. I think it's just going to be like a paneled sleeve, or like she's just going to crochet in the round. I don't exactly know how she's going to do it. Um, but uh, but I don't think it's gonna be like a complicated sleeve. So I don't think it's gonna be something that like tapers down or anything like that. So I don't think I'm gonna have to do any decreases like underneath. Because Crystal, in my experience, typically likes to have things that are just kind of straight fit. That's her like style. Um, so, but we'll see. I mean, maybe she does taper it, and I don't know. I can watch that and see how she does it, and then incorporate it into what I'm doing. That fan is helping so much. The bitch was getting overheated. Um, but oh yeah, so sorry if you mentioned it and I just didn't see. What kind of pattern were you making? if you wanted to share. This is my second panel. Yeah. Now in the picture, it looks more complicated than what it is, which I love that about Bag a Day. Like Bag a Day can like make something look complicated, like dressed up, and then you see the stitches that she did, and you're like, oh, that's actually like that's way simpler than I thought. So I do like that about her stitches, but I did want something like a little bit more because this is the yarn, but I just need to make sure I had enough yarn. And um, because I mean, I don't make wearables and larger items very often, so I don't ever really kind of keep track of how much yarn I use in a project. And Bag of Days really good at saying like I use like this number of yards or whatever, so that you can kind of know what you need. Um, the hexy cardigan pattern I was working on. Oh, nice! I saw a book today that was like all it was like 60. It was some number of like different hexagons. Like some of them you could have made bigger, some of them were like limited in size, and I was like, I feel like a lot of those you could have just like you could have used to make a hexagon cardigan, and I was like, that would be cool just to have like all of these hexagon cardigans. Like if you really like making hexagon cardigans, but you want to change it up, she does break it down so well. I love a Bag a Day tutorial. I just don't really like. I don't make a lot of the type of things that she typically makes, so that's why I don't follow as many of her tutorials. But if there's a pattern that like it makes sense to follow her tutorial, she's always going to be my go-to. She breaks it down better than I think anyone else does. Personally, I think she's the best at explaining um, really anything, and she's always um, she really is like about giving people the confidence, like, hey, like you can do it. Like it might look hard, but you can do it. And I just like that attitude. I think that's really great. Oh my gosh, I've been binge watching so much True Blood, so much True Blood. It's so good. It's such a good show. Like you just there's just the stuff that they like throw at you. Like, has anyone else watched the show? Now I'm only like I just started season 2, so like I know I'm like barely dipping my toes into the supernatural waters of True Blood because I had watched more than I have now. Um, that yeah, the attitude was very helpful. Um, I had watched more than I had up to now. I don't want to say where I watched to in case you haven't seen it and you want to watch it. I know it's been out for a long time, but still. Uh, but like, it's like you forget. Look at when Mel and I first moved in together. We're like actually no, because I kind of like pseudo moved into Mel's parents' house. Like she was living with her parents, and I just like I spent the night some nights, and then I just eventually just spent the night every night, and I was still paying rent where I was living. Um, and and then we like moved in to a different place when I went to school. Uh, so, but she had on her bookcase, on her bookshelf, a bottle of True Blood, and I was like, it like made. I mean, like I like I knew the reference, but I didn't. I had never watched it, and honestly, like I wasn't like big into like vampires or anything, but like the show is so good. You know, I heard it. It gets you know it loses its luster later in the season, like as the seasons go on and stuff and whatever. But like that's all shows. Not I haven't heard it as much for that show as other shows, obviously, but I can't wait for Joe Manganiello, or how do you say his? I forget how his name's spelled. Now my brain knowing that I would have to pronounce his name just threw a bunch of letters at me, and I was like, fuck. Um, yeah, I will. So I got to the point where Tara gets turned into a vampire. Like that's where I've gotten to. Um, like outside of like before. So like I know like but like I get to the point where she gets bitten and that's it. Like I haven't seen her as a vampire or like anything. So that's where I had gotten to. I My spirit animal is Lafayette. Um, the best, the best. I just like the best character that's ever been written for any show to have ever existed, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could just give out like but one spoiler, but I try not to because like like Mel is like one of those people who like loves spoilers and like she's like a freak of nature with spoilers. Like some people like spoilers, Mel loves spoilers. In fact, Mel like has to know spoilers. Like Mel's one of those weirdos who will turn to the back page of a book to see if she likes it. And I'm like, who does that? You're that's not normal. Me, I like to be surprised. I don't like to see things coming. I like the twists and turns. I like the false like directives or whatever. I love that. So but when Joe comes on, he is very sexy. And then also Eric Alexander Skarsgård. Oh my gosh, he's so beautiful. Everyone is so beautiful. I'm like, how did they cast like the best looking cast in all of TV history? And I kind of know what Suki is, but I don't know any details surrounding how she finds out, what that means, anything like that. I kind of know that, but I think that was probably a spoiler for Mel too. So Mel spoiled parts of Game of Thrones for me that are unforgivable, and like maybe in hindsight, no, I'm not going to take any blame for it. Mel spoiled some like significant parts of Game of Thrones. Well, really one specific part of Game of Thrones in the very early seasons, which I was like, what? And she was like, oh, I thought you knew. That's why you said that. And I was like, no, oh my God. If you've seen Game of Thrones, you can message me and I'll tell you what she spoiled, but I won't go on here because the show's not 20 years old yet. So, uh, yeah, I won't do that. I haven't been watching the new House of Dragon. I watched season one, whatever, and then I started season two, and my life was in like shambles, and I just didn't keep up with it. So I'm just like, it just wasn't really intriguing me. It moved a little too slow, trying to keep track of who's with who, and like who's name is who. Like honestly, the names are really what gets me in in Game of Thrones and all of that. So the names are really hard for me. I'm like, who's that again? Who the fuck is that? I should. And then they even if they play like the last time on Game of Thrones, so like remind you, or last time on House of Dragon, I'm like, who the fuck is that? I don't know who that. I don't know who that is. Okay, so I just finished the second front panel. So this is what it looks like. Honestly, this would be. So I was saying earlier, and Crystal, I think, yeah, it's mid as hell. Um, um, so there is a certain event, and it had a nickname. And I had heard about about the event, and I had heard that it was a big event, and I was like, "Ooh, is this event coming soon?" So I kept on asking. I was like, "Oh, I think this event is coming up soon." And so, literally, the a couple episodes before the event, I said, "Ooh, I think the event is coming up soon." And she was like, "So," and then like we're watching an episode, and I'm like, "Oh, they're so cute," and she's like, "Yeah, it's a shame they're all gonna die soon." And I was like, "What?" So, any if you get, I mean, I can be a little bit more specific, but yeah. I mean, I don't think that like I would be spoiling it for anyone if I said it now. This would be a cute little cover for. I mean, I feel like it would kill really badly if I tried to crochet over top of it, um, but yeah. So this is what I have left. Let me see how much yarn I used for this. So I did the back panel and the front two panels with two skeins of yarn, and this is what I have left. So I think that, like, honestly, like, if I didn't do cabling and I just did, uh, if I just did, and I'm a big boy, if I just did double crochet for the sleeves, I think I could get away with using 3 skeins and like have enough to make like something else. But I would rather, like, now that I know I can do a little bit more, like maybe, I don't know, do I need to spice it up? It's so cool. Oh, what I was gonna say. Okay, yes. Okay, I'm glad you know what I'm talking about. Um, Crystal, you might remember this because I was saying I've been obsessing over these colors because they're my dream colors. They're like, it's so good. I love every part of it. And then I was like, there's a yarn that it reminds me of a lot. And I think that Daniel of Paul Ply Yarns did it specifically for Bag a Day, called Steve the Cat, where it was colored specifically for Bag a Day's cat. Do you remember that? A new marriage between a wolf and a nurse. Yes. Yes. Had a color and marriage. Yeah. Or wedding. Yep. Yep. Because I had just heard about it. I didn't know. I don't think. I don't think about things being like literal. Like, I don't think about things being called things like for literal reasons. I don't think about things that make sense. Um, but yeah. So, do you remember? Was that a yarn that existed? Steve the Cat or something like that. Was that Daniel that did that? I know it didn't have the gray in it, but it had like shades of orange and black. It wasn't this vibrant because Steve the Cat, is not that vibrant, but it had like this vibe for jerseys, I think. I need to just message Daniel. I need to just message Daniel and be like, am I losing my shit? And he will be like, yes, you're losing your shit. But yeah, now I have the two panels. Honestly, like, I mean, I should make everything an 8mm hook. You get shit done. Like, because I started this, yesterday? I think, maybe the day before. So, like, these are the two panels. It's so busy though. I feel like I'm gonna do a black collar and black cuffs at the least. Um, but I did so in that book of like edge designs and shit. I'm gonna see if they have something that will kind of make this look a little like fancier or something. I gotta make sure it's not like because there's a lot that are like like loops and things like that, and I feel like I mean obviously not that one, but like I don't want to put like a loop at the bottom of like a sweater because um I get caught on like doorknobs and stuff a lot on that height. So I don't need any help getting caught on doorknobs. Okay, so it's nothing like what I imagined. Oh wait, but like okay, so you see it worked up. It's kind of yeah, it is a lot less saturated, but it's a kind of version of this because it had the orange and the black. It just is a lot less saturated. Okay. Oh, her in her old house. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, it's got some kind of like it looks like charcoal and like gray tones, and it's gorgeous yarn. Man, Daniel just fucking works out. I'm gonna grow up to be like him. But yeah, so maybe I can get some cool stuff. But like honestly, this cover sold me. I mean, like you can't tell me that that's not freaking just so gorgeous. And they have it on the back where they did some like doily shit on the sleeve, and then they have that like petal stuff on the back. It's just so pretty. Yeah, I think that is the color because if you see what it looks like worked up on her for the scarf, it does have that kind of like striping, like black and orange look. It's just like not this vibrant at all, which is okay. Like she was looking for something that matched her cat, which this will not match any cat unless you were talking about like actual Garfield comic book because this is crazy bright. Cats don't come in this color. JL, do cats come in this color? Do they come in this color? Can I get one? Can I get a replacement? Maybe one that's sweeter? Actually, I don't need any more orange cat energy. But yeah, this is similar. I can see similarities, but yeah, they're totally different. Yeah, this is like my dream, a dream. I feel like now that I've made this, and I know that I could have made a cardigan out of three, I'm a little pissed off because I have three of the more muted ones from last year. I could have used those for like a basic cardigan, and then I could have gone all out for a like crazy cardigan or something. Why would I need cardigans that are basically the same color? I don't even. I mean, I do wear. I do like throwing on a cardigan, actually more than you would probably think. But the reason why is because I don't bind most of the time. Like I don't. And so I like just having something like that lays over my chest to like kind of layer, so that it kind of gives a little bit more wiggle room to what the eye is seeing. Um, but yeah, but now I'm like, oh, I wish I knew. I wish I knew then what I know now. But yeah, whatever. I have a squeaky rat. What's this, Jelly? Your brother would eat this, and it's from the Dollar Tree, so I think he would probably die. But but you won't eat it. You'll just be like, that smells weird. Oh my gosh, your belly's so warm on my foot. Your belly's so warm on my foot. So yeah, I'll watch that video you sent me. Thank you for sending that to me. So I'll do that and also check out how she did the sleeves. I have to think also about what I want, just like everything to look like. I just feel like I think that once the collar, I maybe I didn't want to put pockets on it, but I feel like if I did black pockets, then it would. This is like it's pretty yarn. I'm not gonna like. I love this yarn. I've been gabbing about how much I fucking love this yarn, but like, um, it's just it. This is where I get to sometimes variegated yarn, where sometimes it's a little too much, and I'm like, oh. But if it had like some big black pockets, then that might kind of chill it out a little bit. What are you scratching at the couch for, you little turd burger? Oh, you're like, you want your spot. I see. Where's Daddy? Where's Daddy? Where's Daddy? Gets me every time. And you get to see my cat's butthole. I did go to Spirit Halloween the other day, and that was fun. Because I'm doing such a themed, I want to do like a themed uh, experience for my decor this year. I feel like there's just not a lot of like uh, like most people aren't in their Swamp Witch era, which that's fine. Um, so that's just more for me to make. So I did get some things from Walmart to try out. One of the things I want to try is using moss. And so I got some dried Spanish moss from Walmart. Uh, and like it doesn't grow here and it grows in South Carolina, but it's actually illegal to harvest your own. Like really illegal. I think it's like um, so, so I got some, but because my cat has a tendency to eat certain textures, I'm a little afraid that he will try to eat it all, and then I'll have to take him to the vet to get his little stomach, um, you know, unmossified. I am looking at Joanne has some styrofoam gravestones, which I think the dollar store might have some styrofoam gravestones. I'll have to check it out again. But like I wanted less graveyard and more like more swamp. So I was like, if I do gravestones, I want them kind of like submerged, like maybe like a swamp that kind of took like kind of started like working its way into a graveyard. So they'd be kind of like have like submerged. But then it's like, well, how do I do this kind of like watery, mossy, like um vibe that I want, and how do I not spend all my money doing it? Because it's such a specific aesthetic. Now, the thing that Spirit had bukus of that would be perfect for Swamp Witch is like they have tons of little critters. Like when you are in like the checkout, there's tons of like rats and like mice, all different colors of tarantulas and spiders, little squishy what is it? They had little squishy like everything, like bugs and stuff like that. I was gonna see if I could find some like I looked at Walmart in like the bait section, like the like fish and tackle section, and there were a lot of options that looked really cool for like tackle or bait, or I don't know what the difference is. Um, so I guess it would be bait, right? Because it looks like a fish, so bait. I don't know, whatever. So those would be cool options. I just don't know if you can just like lie them around or like have them like hanging around places. I thought about having like a garland of lights, but putting like those like fake bait things on them, and I thought that would be cool. Or having like the little floaty bob, like the red and white like bob sinker thingies, and having that be like uh, uh, floaty floaty thing, a garland or something like that, because that could be cool. Wouldn't that be cool? Jelly really loves this bear, and I really love this bear, and it's really cute, and I love his colors. His colors. Uh, do they have clear plastic? So there's gotta be options. Um, there are some different films, and I know there's some films that you can heat up with like a heat gun or a hair dryer. Heat guns are usually a little bit, they're more intense. Latex tends to like remain sticky, so it would catch like a bunch of dust and stuff. And I don't think you would get the water appearance. It would just kind of be like a filmy, like I don't think latex would be the thing. I think I think there's like probably like plastic films that I could hit with a heat gun, and it would start to kind of warp in like the shape of like water. And then I could maybe like paint on the underside of it, um, like some kind of like murkier, like water looking type things that would be cool looking. But I have to look for that because I'm sure people have done like installations of like fake koi ponds or something. Really actually pulling shit out of my ass right now. Really, actually, I'm actually not. But I'm just thinking of just things on the fly. But I'm sure people have done like koi pond art or something like that, where they heated up a piece of plastic and then just like had stuff underneath it and it looked like water or something like that. Um, so my coffee table right here is like a glass. It's a mirror top. So I think it would be really great to have. Like it would be perfect. I mean, I think that something could be done to make it to put on top to look more like water, even like just a piece of plastic. Um, but it's kind of like I don't really have many surfaces to put stuff on. And then there is some fabric that uh, like I could maybe like lay over. Let me see. What would it be called? I'm so bad at like the names of fabrics though. Just gonna put that on the ground because I don't know what to do with it. Okay, so apparel fabric. It might be an apparel fabric. Yeah, and it would probably. I mean, it's definitely there's probably some very fancy versions in like the. Um, I don't think tulle is it. I got to be careful because mesh and tulle. My cat does like to eat. That's part of his pica trigger. Um, but if it's, I did. So I made this dress for Mel uh, the year we started dating, when we went to the Ren Fair, and it was like an overlay of another fabric that it was on. So it was like sheer, but it had like a blue purple shift. Oh, you don't know fabrics. You're a Googler. Oh, at first I thought you said you know fabrics. So I was like, great. But anyways, well, no, I'm just kidding. Oh, wait, that's trends. Apparel fabric. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so let's see. So the witching hour just says the witching hour flat cosmic purple blue apparel fabric. That could be cool, but I want more greens to pull out. But I mean, if everything's green, then that's yeah. And the witching hour is just the line, and then they have a purple and green. That one's pretty cool. It's like a black, but they're not telling you what kind of fabric it is. Let's see, transparent metallic polyester fabric. So it's just polyester fabric. Well, that's super helpful because. But like that shifty fabric is nice. Everything gets so expensive. But if I just had that like draped kind of like, I feel like I would kind of want the edges to be like a little like wavy and just like I could just tuck it all weird. I wouldn't have to sew the ends and try to make them look nice. I don't give a shit about that. And I don't want them to look nice, but I also don't want them to look like extra bad because I tried to make them look bad. That fabric does fray like a motherfucker. I'll just put some. Uh, are you on the Joanne website as well, Crystal? Well, right now it's $4.99 a yard, which is really not bad. And if I got the purple and blue one, I mean that would look really cool over all of this. And if I kind of did stuff behind here, and then I had like some kind of like sunken like floors and fishing shit and like animal creatures, and then put some like tree branches and shit. Yeah, that could be cool. I'm just totally made mermaid water fabric. Okay. Oh, organza. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And you can get the cool edges by burning them too. I forgot. I had some gold organza. I did a costume back in the day. I had some gold organza, and it was supposed to be like all burnt and charred. Um, and uh, and so I like took a lighter to it. I actually have a permanent scar from it, from it on my leg, because I was outside in my driveway burning it, and was doing it over my leg, and it's plastic. It's plastic, and yeah, I'm looking at what you sent. Yeah, this is all organza. Yeah. Um, but but it's plastic, and I melted it, and I melted it, and it balled up into a little glob and fell on my leg. So I had just like this like simmering like molten ball of plastic, um, just on my leg. It was super awesome. Can't recommend enough. Also, I really like to go touch fabrics because I'm like, is this what I think it is? And I'm not always quite sure. Can't do tulle. No, I'm on Joanne's website. Yeah, it hurt. So I had like maybe like the size of a pencil eraser scar. It's mostly gone down, especially as like my leg hair has grown to be like tremendous. I feel like also it'd be cool to get some like layering of the organza like fabric so that we could get it would look a little bit more like watery. Also, my couch is gray, so I think that'll add to it. I don't know if we need to layer it. That's a lot of work for really everything else that's gonna go on potentially on this wall. And then I'll just like scavenge for fucking branches and shit. I don't give a shit. Bring bugs into my apartment. Okay, the rest of it is. Okay, so they just don't like using the words of the names of the fabric that they have. This is really frustrating because they're just like, it's a shiny fabric, and you're like, what is it? What's the name of the fabric? No wonder I don't know the names of fabrics. I feel like a satin underneath could be nice to give like a nice like ripply water effect. There's this Kentucky blue matte satin, which matte satin kind of seems a little redundant to me. I guess I'm thinking about like makeup because those are different finishes, but I guess satin is like an actual type of fabric. But also, finding things in my Joanne store is like, oh my gosh, it's a fucking nightmare. Oh, it's special occasions. Ooh, this stuff is always expensive. Must be that season now. I'm sure I can find a cheaper satin than $7.99 or $7.69 on sale. So there's the Glitterbug Satin Solid Fabric in light blue. Ooh, blue two-tone shimmer satin fabric. That's pretty. Rayon, polyester. That's pretty, but I think it's too blue. Oh, get the dynamite stick. Oh, you're gonna make it go boom. There's a dynamite stick we have. It's a cat toy that has cat in it, and my cat likes to roll around with it and kick it, and he goes buck wild. How's it going with that, Lydia? I think that's such a good idea. I just like jam all mine under the sink. Mm, the Casa collections always gets me because it's so pretty. Also, I always love looking at the scrap fabrics because sometimes you find like the best things in like the scrap like the salvage. Okay, so I think that the color that I talked about first was their cheapest one. Blue satin taffeta. What's a taffeta? I can't remember. What's taffeta? What's taffeta? What's taffeta? What is taffeta? Because that's on like a good. It doesn't look like it's. Oh, but it does look really nice. Kind of swirled up. Okay, I'm gonna put that. I'm just gonna put all this shit in my cart. Also, I want like a little bit darker of a blue. I don't want to be too light. I mean, the darker the color underneath, the more the reflection of the duochrome kind of fabric on top. So that'll be nice. But having the blue underneath is going to give it kind of more of like the waves and like the ripples of like a swamp. But if too much shows through, then it's going to be too light. So I don't want it to be too light. So that like last chance. Why are you looking at me like that? You got catnip eyes. You got catnip eyes, sir. When he looks at you, he's like, dark blue sanded charmeuse. Charmeuse? What kind of fucking word is that? Plastic ring. Oh, cool. That's a good idea. Elegant dresses, blouses, and skirts will make you stand out from the crowd. I'm trying to make a swamp. Now this doesn't have, so this is very matte. It's dark, which I like. I like the color, but it's it just doesn't have. I mean, it's just not. I don't think that's gonna give me my swamp vision. Swamp vision. Swamp vision. I literally just said that. Okay, so we will figure this out, but the thing about fabrics is like if you pick them out not in store, like you get it if you do the in-store pickup to get a discount, then like you get the cut that you get, right? You can always order more if, assuming that they have it in stock. But like if you went and tried to find it in store, it would be so hard to find in store. However, you might find that perfect. You might find that perfect fabric in store, which you can't necessarily say that you would find. Granted, if I order a pickup at my store, usually it takes them like 3 to 4 hours to put it together. So it's not like a huge burden if I can like go in, touch the fabric, see the fabric. Okay, so I'm going to log off for the night. I'm going to let them hopefully send me a coupon. to get a better discount, and I'm also going to eat dinner. So I hope you have a good night, and